Aha, see? Alright. I almost started without the mic turned on. Because several times I'll do that where I'll accidentally. I don't like how this thing has such a very small, like, boom, out of focus. Okay, I gotta be like set. I can't sit still. That's the thing. I just can't do it. But that's not a very can-do attitude, is it? All right, director's commentary. Let's see. Okay, one thing I didn't know is that this camera actually can pivot like that. Who knew? I think it's I don't remember what this thing's called. Logitech, something or other. It's just some basic. It's the basic webcam you get. You know, you can get it at Best Buy or get it, whatever. It's pretty. I think it's like maybe 50 or 60 bucks. Like, it was not much at all. Minion guy, what's up, man? What's up? What's going on, man? All right, I gotta get this. I gotta get the word out. Gotta get the word out. Oh, get the freaking ad. I mean, love a good ad. Okay, copy link. Cartoon Commotion, what's up, my man? Howdy do. Howdy do. Howdy do. Gotta spread the love. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing great. Had a very chill / good / productive day so far. Live. Direct. You'd think as many times as I type director's commentary, it would, my autocorrect or my suggested words would know, like that's what I'm typing. But no, actually, it's kind of absurd. Come check it out. All right. Gotta post the. I'm gonna put it in the Discord, and that's probably gonna do it for me as far as sharing it out. These commentaries I don't really share too terribly much, but shoot, I'm not gonna at everyone either because it's kind of obnoxious. I'd rather only do that for the real videos. All right. All right. So, Cade and Minions, how we doing today, guys? Got all the somebody spamming these 100 emojis. Let's go. Hey, we love to see it. We love to see it. So yeah, this is my first director's commentary in the new space, in the new studio. And first of all, as far as the studio goes, like I'm really digging it. I'm really digging it. Like, I think there's a whole new element of like I think one thing particularly that stands out is the lighting. Also, I'm going to not use the Wi-Fi on my phone. That way I can get optimal bandwidth to the PC. But it's a thing that's kind of interesting. The lighting is totally different. Like my previous studio, it was all really bright, and now like I could leave the basement light off and then like have just my studio lights, and it perfectly lights the subject, and then the background is totally like not completely dark, but it was dark enough to where it's like it's separate. I don't know. It's a nice change, and it's definitely interesting how it kind of looks. So I think it fits because it's like a new era of the channel, new chapter. Gotta have a new look. Minion guy's a spammer. I'm gonna spam right back, homie. I'm gonna spam right back. Okay, so we've got. Oh my gosh, let's skip it. So I was trying to open up this document earlier to get the thumbnail, and it said I was missing 2 files, which are files that I am not even using. Oh, you know what I could do? I could just get rid of the. I know what I can do. Let me see. I don't know if it's probably not even worth messing with. Oh, there they go. Clear that and clear that. Now it shouldn't do that anymore. Also, I was having a little bit of trouble because I was editing next week's video. Also, hey Johnny, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Good to see you, Johnny. Also, thanks everybody for being here, because it's off schedule a little bit. Had some stuff going on Sunday, so I couldn't do the regularly scheduled programming. So I'm glad you guys are here in spite of that. But after this, we'll be back on Sundays, and we're gonna do 6:30 Central instead of 5 Central. Finally, normal hours for me, not at midnight. Hey, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, let me see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I was getting so I was editing, so the video that comes out next week, I'm a week ahead on all the videos now, so this video that you're getting ready to watch came out last week, or came out 3 days ago on Sunday. Sunday, the 7th, is the video I made just a few days ago. So, like, I'm a week ahead on videos now, which is awesome, because with the big old life change, like, you kind of, it's extremely helpful to get ahead, because now I'm not behind. So now every week I make a video, I make the following week's video. So it's like, I'm good. I'm doing good. But, oh, I forgot to open this. I have a meat stick. Got a Jack Link's. Let me see, what is this? Original. It's literally called the beef stick. I didn't realize that. That's hilarious. But, I think my hard drive is getting full. Actually, I know my hard drive is getting full. It's 4 terabytes. So according to the file manager, it's like 3.63 terabytes. And I have filled 3.61, which means I still have like 24 gigs left, but that in the grand scheme of things is not very much. So very so for that reason, I was editing next week's video, whatever the heck week's video it was. It was being really slow and being really stupid. I was afraid it was my PC, but it was just the freaking hard drive is full, because that's where I keep the Premiere Elements file. So the file that I use and all the footage and everything is from the hard drive, so the hard drive has to run, or the external hard drive has to run. So with that in mind, it's kind of screwy. So it was being slow, but I fixed it, and so now it should be okay. Minions guy says, man, I love those beef sticks. Bro, they're so fire. Like, it's almost food. It's so good. Oh, man. Nice little punch of protein, you know? I think these actually have like a decent amount, like 10 grams or something. 6 grams of protein. That's not bad. 1 gram of total sugar. See, these were like the ultimate. You're trying to cut carbs or something. These were the ultimate, like Slim Jims or whatever. So good. Okay. Now we got everybody in here. Let's rock and roll on this. Let's rock and roll on this here commentary. I'm gonna remember to switch the window. There we go. All right. Hey, light's pretty bright, my G. Yeah, it is. Vegan Rich, what's up, my man? Yeah, the jerky stuff has way more protein, like a little overexposed. Yeah, that's just because of crummy webcam. And that's also, I have a pasty white forehead. Unless, oh, see, I'm leaning too far back. That's bogus, dude. Wonder if I do this and I can like lean back and it still looks decent. Nope. Oh my gosh, bro, I hate this webcam. Like, it only focuses like right here. Hello? Okay, so I could say right here. No, but either way, it's just, you know, it do be that way. Also, Evan, what's up, my man? Welcome in. You inspired me to jump in and start my own YouTube channel. Hey, Vegan Rich, I'm glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that, dude. That's awesome. That's really cool. And congratulations on starting. That's really the hardest step, honestly. Just getting started, you know. That's the biggest thing. Very curious about your commentary on this one. Love the idea of talking to the studio. Very creative and nostalgic. Yeah, dude, it was a good one. It kind of just, it's one of those where it kind of just came out. Also, you guys are going to have to excuse the super bright, because it's just, it just do be that way, because I'm going to be moving and sitting different ways and stuff. So, like, the webcam likes to trip out, and that's just the nature of the game. You're watching this in a theme park right now. That's kind of awesome. Pretty exciting. Okay. Yeah, this one is, what is it, 8 minutes and 40 seconds? Yep. Lots of B-roll going on up here. Really cool stuff. I was really focused on, look at doing that. Embrace the flow. Yeah, man. Dude, it's just one of those things. It just kind of happened. It came out. And it was really nice because it was one of those videos where the story wrote itself really, really quickly. Everything just kind of came together. And obviously there was like the execution aspect of it, but other than that, it was pretty easy. Okay. And this was actually a love letter to my studio. That was going to be the title. But, I decided not to. And for some reason, because I'll tell you what I did. So, because of this music track, how it goes like that. Dear Studio. So, to kind of get it to flow a little bit better, I wasn't going to just, like, you have that little riff at the beginning, and then it kind of falls in. Dear Studio. So I didn't want to just start everything off right at the beginning, and plus that feels kind of like boom right in your face, you know. I didn't want it to start off talking right at the beginning. So I had to have this little section. And honestly, at first, I left this black. So it was just completely nothing. And that obviously was just temporary. I just knew I wanted that space between that and the initial video coming in. So that way it can kind of help with the pace and the flow of everything. DMC Racing, what's up, man? Hey, man, how's the new studio? The new studio is awesome so far. I'm really liking it. I've got the space all set up. I only have a couple of the lights on right now because it's just a lot otherwise. But it's going really well. It's going really well. I have a lot more space that I know what to do with because the old studio was a literal closet. So it was like, you know, if there was 2 of my desk, that's all it would fit in the old space. But now I can go all the way back here. I could just keep going. But it's kind of a pain to get the chair to roll back, so we're not gonna mess with that. I want to get me one of those little plastic office chair mats. I was trying to avoid that, but it's kind of a pain in the neck because the carpet it's low enough, but it's just barely high enough, and there's too many wheels, and the wheels are too small. So like a lot of those things factored into each other. The only difference, or the only thing that I don't like, is how those mats are stupidly expensive. Like I mean, the one I saw was like $99. I don't know how true that actually is for the grand scheme, but I could probably find some cheapo one and it would work just the same. Vegan Rich says, "What editor are you using?" I'm using Adobe Premiere Elements 2023. So it's like the cheapo version of Premiere Pro, and it's you can do all basic video editing things on it. So it's really all you need as a beginner, and just I like it, so I'm not upgrading. And plus, I've learned it, so I don't want to mess with learning something else. I think the thing with the music too in this video is the thing with this video is I was going 100% for the feel. Like I was very, very deliberate in trying to make the audience feel a type of way, something specific. So like I started off with music right out the gate to set the tone, right? So I wanted to make sure this was like, as soon as you clicked on, you knew this is kind of the feel. This is kind of what we're going for. You hear piano, you hear sort of somber, nostalgic, kind of slow down a little bit, slower pace type of thing. Vegan says, you always do such an excellent way of syncing your video and the music. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is a lot of tedious frame-by-frame work. It's really the gist of it is. And two, I think having some kind of rhythm in real life too, like if you kind of understand, what kind of feels right and sounds right, it tends to help. But also it's just kind of over the course of years of practice, it kind of gets better and better. So Dear Studio, well, I'm leaving you soon. By the time this letter gets to you, I will be in the process of setting up my new studio in a new place. Don't worry though, I'll still come back and visit you now and again, so I'm not gone for good. It's hard to believe that this time has already come. Yours, Garrett. Alright, so first 30 seconds in, Minions Guy says, yo. So first 30 seconds in, we've locked in sort of the feel, I think, and the vibe of this video is you're going to be getting a series of these short letters, right? Quote-unquote letters, where it's like, talking about the situation at hand. And this first letter describes the setting, right? It's the setup for the story. Dear Studio, well, I'm leaving you soon. That's immediately, like 9 seconds, and you've got it, right? You know exactly what's going on. And not only do you know what's going on, but you've got the idea of the feeling trying to be established with this. So it's supposed to be, like I said, with the piano, you have a certain vibe that you kind of get from it. The reason I love this, Cartoon Commotion says, is because you're not talking to us directly. We're able to feel the vibes directed towards your nostalgia. That's a really good observation, actually, because it's not for the audience. The video is not for, or it's not directed to the audience. It's more inward, and it's more of an expression. Like, I was talking to people that are close to me, like my family and stuff, and I was telling them about this video, a week before it came out, and I was like, of all the videos I've made on my channel, this one feels the most like art, because it feels like I'm not talking to any one particular audience. It's more of an expression of my feeling and what I feel in this moment about this certain subject. So, and obviously it translated because people in the comments said that they felt a type of way about it, which means, by definition, it's art, and it has successfully transmitted a feeling, which is absolutely wonderful, and I'm grateful that it had that, people resonated with the video in some way. And it didn't have to be the way that I resonated with it. It was just they interpreted it, anybody watching interpreted it in their own way, for their own circumstance, which is really, really cool. By the time this letter gets to you, I will be in the process of setting up my new studio in a new place. Don't worry though, I'll still come back and visit you now and again, so I'm not gone for good. Dude was riding me, dude. I remember, and this is part of why I shot this, I was getting absolutely ridden, and obviously it's the rearview mirror, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I was getting ridden the whole way up. It's really interesting to see the process. Hey, dude, that's why I love doing these, because I know people enjoy seeing the things that go into this, and maybe if it's not something that they're particularly into, like, it's still, something if somebody was to dip their toe into it, they'd be like, oh, this is actually really cool how this all kind of comes together. And you wouldn't think about it, just by watching. There's a lot that goes into it that just the casual watcher doesn't see. And you can't see because, you're just, anyone that watches just casually, there's a lot of things that just kind of go, and that's kind of the point of a lot of the things too, is editing and movie magic, it's supposed to kind of be taken for granted. I made the video about this, the sound design video actually, talked about like how good sound design is, I feel like it's kind of meant to be taken for granted, because otherwise, like, if you notice it, then something's wrong, right? But unless you're like sitting there really genuinely, intentionally trying to appreciate it, otherwise it's just kind of going wrong. Oh, Brent me boy. What's up, man? Editing is so interesting to watch be broke down. It's crazy, because it is, on the outside it looks so complicated. Like, look at this. Like, zoom it out. That looks extremely complicated. And this is actually a pretty simple edit overall in terms of editing, but like, if you don't know anything about it, it looks extremely complicated. And it's like, why are all these little yellow dots here? And like, what are the lines? And why is there? Why are they all? It's all crazy. Like, it looks so difficult and complicated. But it's one of the things that's why I like doing these commentaries. Is because, especially now that we have the editing software on it, like, it looks super cool. I'm super happy that people are interested in it. And I'm happy that I'm able to explain it to people as well. Can you edit keyframes in that software? Yes, that's what these little guys are. I can do that. And actually, over here on the left side, add remove keyframe. You just click on that, and then it'll add one. So like here, bang, 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 bang. You see that? I don't know if you can actually see that unless you're like looking really close, but yes, the answer is yes, I can. It's hard to believe that this time has already come. Yours, Garrett. Dear Studio, I find it so wild to look back at where we started. Oh man. You were just a closet. The nostalgia of this shot right here is crazy. Because like, I remember moving back from college and that being like the way it was with the closet. And then there was the mini fridge back there. There was the pantry, and then there was all the cubbies over there. And now it's not anymore, but it was my office. And built it up from the ground up, basically. It was so cool. Then we put the wall in, put the door in. That's super dope. At one point, I want to retrieve my door, and like, when I have my own house or something, I want to retrieve that door and put it in my office. Could you imagine, like, how epic of a video that would be? Like, the journey home to go unhinge the door and then bring it to whatever house I end up in. Like, that would be nuts. That would be a crazy story. And I had just moved home from my lone semester at college. I'm so proud of both of us. We've both gone through a lot of changes and a lot of growth in the last 3 years. When we met, I was just a kid. I was a kid with a dream. And if I'm honest, that was about it. Yeah. And you were... Look at that. That's so cool. Also, a lot of this footage was shot on my phone, and I was shooting like on the front-facing or the selfie camera or whatever. So like, I had to, in the edit, flip it which it looks foreign, like obviously not to you guys because you haven't seen the original video probably, but like to me this looks so foreign because I remember the original being flipped. So like the Nike logo on my hat was backwards and everything was reversed because it was that front-facing camera as opposed to like what it looks like in real life. New video. I missed my door so much I went back home to steal it. Dude, hey. Oh, Premiere is way louder than commentary. Okay. Thank you, Johnny. Let me see real quick.
Or a mere closet. You stored coats, purses, and...
Thank you, Johnny. That is kind of absurd. Thank you very much, Johnny. Let's see if we can,
You stored coats, purses, and some various pantry items.
We're going to turn down just a little bit more. We're going to go like negative 5.3-ish.
The last 3 years. When we met, I was just a kid. I was a kid with a dream. And if I'm honest, that was about it.
How's that sound, guys?
And you?
That feels better. That feels better on my end. I mean, even though I can't even hear the actual thing, I could just turn my phone on.
With a dream. And if I'm honest.
Let me see here if I can get back far enough to... Sounds good to you? Okay. Oh, that was kind of loud. Oopsie. Sorry, gang. Okay, cool. Now we're back to regularly scheduled program. Shoot. Let me get up to live here. Okay. Also, Cade, your idea and practical ways to enhance your life. I haven't, to be honest with you. I've had so much going on the last week. Haven't been able to think about really much anything except for like the task at hand. So, I have not. I actually am starting to write next week's video though. So what I'm kind of strategizing is, let me see here. This week's video is, so I had the last video in the studio. The week before was the EDC pouch, and the week before was sound design. So like every other, and the week before that was the pocket notebook philosophy. So like every other, because the pocket notebook videos, let's face it, they're getting views, right? They're bringing people into the channel. So what I'm thinking of adopting, or have sort of subconsciously adopted, is like the one for me, one for them thing, where like you post one video that you want to post that's like fully you, whatever, and then you post another one that you kind of know will get views or like will bring people to the channel. And it's, the same thing as like optimizing for search or whatever, but like it's just, if I know a pocket notebook video is going to get views, I'll post it, and then the following week I'll do whatever I want and then go back and forth. And it's not like I don't want to do the pocket notebook videos either. It's just like I want to alternate, that way I'm not like only pocket notebook stuff, because that would kind of get old. So this week's video, the one that's going to come out on the 7th, is another me video, and then the following one will be a pocket notebook video. So anyway, just had to go on that little tangent, but yeah, it's back to the action, gang.
I was a kid with a dream.
And curtain too. We had the curtain up instead of the door and the wall. So like, dang, it's crazy. It's so wild to see back too.
And if I'm honest, that was about it. And you?
So, fun fact, let me do this. Let me show you guys this, because you're on the commentary, you get to see the exclusive stuff. So this is where I was in my room recording the audio. So I was like 100%. In the production of this, I knew I was not going to be like showing my face as far as like talking to camera type of thing, because again, this is not, like we discussed earlier, the perspective and point of view of this video is not directed at the audience or at the YouTube or whatever. It is Dear Studio. It's more of a expressing of feelings. So with that in mind, I wanted to make a point to not show my face at any point in this video. At least, I guess I shouldn't say not show my face. The whole point is not to directly address the camera. That's what it is. I'm not breaking the fourth wall in this video. I'm not directly addressing the camera. It's all, was that third person, like, or second? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm not directly addressing the camera at any point in this video, and I knew that going in. That's what I wanted to do. So the point of, I had this whole bottom strip of video is where all the audio is, and what I did was I had that clothesline. If you look back on the channel, there is a clothesline I put up, or there's a video on my channel where we made a home theater in my room, where we put up a clothesline and then draped a sheet over it and then bought a projector to like watch Star Wars on it and stuff. Super cool. And so using that clothesline I had up in my room, I put up my comforter. I draped my comforter over it, so it was like real thick, you know, and padded. It was like a sound studio. And then I took the camera, stood it up right next to it, so it was like, so all the audio recorded in this was like directly against a comforter. So it was about as good as audio as I could make at home. Because in the studio it would have been it was during the day and I want to get done early, and then the shop was open, so there's people there, and it would have been noise in the background, and it would have been good. So, but going back to my original point, I knew I was going to do this not at all addressing the camera. So that's why, first of all, if you look at this, almost the whole time I'm reading it straight off of the paper. See this? I'm reading it straight off the paper, only looking at the camera a little bit just to kind of like keep the habit. But so like almost all of this is read directly from the paper, which is cool because you're not seeing my face, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I wanted to, again, not directly look at or address the camera in this entire video. I'm on screen, as you can see, but never am I addressing the camera like you guys, whatever. Okay, the important thing is to not allow yourself to get in the space of making the same video over and over. Pocket notebooks are awesome, but what can you do? Haven't already done. That's the ticket. Exactly. And I would like to, and that's the thing was, there's the balance too of like I want to make the pocket notebook videos like every other or every third or whatever, because you know that's what brings home the bacon and that kind of stuff. But I don't want to just be like making that same video over and over again. So that's why I'm trying to be creative in that. Like, if anything, I think what's cool about it is that A, it gets views, and B, it's like it's sort of a creative constraint to where instead of being 100% I can make whatever I want to make, is I can make whatever I want to make within this particular constraint. So like I need to make it about the pocket notebook, so I can put that in the title, in the thumbnail, so people will find it and click on it and watch my other videos and whatever. And even still, like what's cool about the whole thing is that since I started doing that, my regular viewers have gone up anyway. So it's like kind of a win-win. But anyway, so I'm still being creative and doing what I want to do and making what I want to make throughout the entire time, which is really cool. Love the atmosphere of this video. You maintain the POV the entire time. Yeah, dude. This is one of my favorites. Obviously, I like to try and make every video to where it's my favorite, but like this one I have a personal attachment to because it's like such a relatable to me. Like it's my personal feelings, displayed in this video. So it's a really important one to me. So I think it's like one of my favorites no matter what. Menus guy says, "Dang, man, you're good at editing." Thank you, dude. Appreciate that.
You are a mere closet.
A mere closet.
You stored coats, purses, and some various pantry items.
It's crazy putting that wall up, man. That was so long ago. That was like 3 years ago. It's crazy.
Now look at us. I'm just a kid.
Also, the wide angle on my phone I was shooting this with, holy crap, it completely skews it. The room is not that big. By the way, I might have to leave early a few minutes because of the rides, but I'll be back. Hey, you're good, dude. You're good. Go ride the rides, man. Go ride the rides.
With the same dream, but now I have a much
technically I was looking at the camera in this, but it was B-roll.
More sure direction. I've learned a lot and become much more sure of myself.
It's always kind of funny whenever I use recycled B-roll from the previous week's video, because if you're sharp, you're like, wait a minute, I saw this last week. Hey.
As for you, you are now a capsule of creativity, a space that has such a great energy and has inspired so much in me. You are now so much more than a closet. Also, this shot I reuse in next week's video. You guys are going to really like that. I think it's super cool because, yeah, screw it. You guys are the commentary gang. You're going to know. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So, a long time ago, I don't remember how long ago, this was probably 6 months ago at least, my dad gave me an idea to
green screen my office back home. He gave me the idea to green screen my office, like take a picture of it or a video of it or whatever, and then set up the green screen whenever I move out, and then use it to like make it look like I'm still in my old studio. So in next week's video, the one that you guys are going to see on the 7th, that has that featured. So like there's a shot just like this where I'm like, it looks like I'm sitting in my office, but it's the green screen, and I end up turning around and pulling the green screen down so you actually see that it is not that studio anymore. So, and it's actually really, like I wanted to put it in there, but it was one of those things where it had to make sense for the narrative, or else it would be pointless to put it in. But it ended up being symbolic of what that video is about, so it worked out in the end, so that was really fun.
My studio. Sincerely, Garrett. Dear Studio.
I loved it too. This is something a lot of people have commented on that they really like, where it's like, and this is not the best example actually, but there's times where, you know, it's like this, where you'll see two things at once. You'll see the wide shot of me writing, and then you'll get the really, really tight shot of what I'm writing exactly, and you'll get that. You know, usually I'll do it to where the lower opacity, so it kind of, you can see both, but in this particular example, I just faded it in.
I guess now it's time to...
But I really, especially in the context of this video, it's been really, really cool to do that, because you can see, you know, obviously you can see them writing back here. I'm zoomed out, and then you can get what I'm writing, because it's like whenever they put captions on the video where you can like read the words, pop it up on screen, but it's handwritten. It's super cool. One thing I was thinking about the other day too is how annoying it is writing left-handed while doing overhead, because it's so hard to actually read what I'm writing, because my hand is covering it the whole time, and I have to, you know, wait until I've written the whole thing and then finish it and then put the clip. It's weird. It's annoying how it works.
I guess now it's time to start packing you up. I have a good feeling that I'm going to be hit with a ton of nostalgia as I go through this process. In the grand scheme, 3 years isn't that long. But boy howdy, when you've done as much as you and I have done together, it feels a lot longer. Warm regards, Garrett.
Alright. Oh, I did address the camera in this video. I forgot.
So, I think for this, I'm going to leave.
I totally forgot I did this part. So that's part of being ahead, is you kind of forget some things. But no, this is okay. This is the cleaning part. But this is, I think this is more of a segue between, because see, I start the narration again here. So this is more of a segue between sections. But still, I forgot that this was a thing.
So I think for this, I'm going to leave the chair out of the office. There's a lot. It's going to be a little overwhelming.
I think also too, this section is important to contextualize like how I'm feeling in real time. Because obviously there's the whole narration of it is sort of hindsight and reflection, whereas this is what I'm feeling in real time. So I think that was really important to the whole thing. So this, I think there's this, and I think there's like one or two maybe other sections. I can't exactly remember, but either way.
I guess I just gotta start with like I'm gonna try and prioritize like what am I not using for this video, and whatever that stuff is getting packed up.
Oh yeah, dude, the switch of the music, dude. Cause okay. So like I said in the top of the hour or whatever, one of the things I was really focusing on doing in this video was trying to convey that feeling. And one of the things, you know, obviously this whole process, there's a roller coaster of feelings, and there's like the nostalgia, and then there's like the excitement aspect, right? There's the excitement, the looking forward, and things of that nature. And so the packing up scene, which is coming up soon, it really, you know, the music drives home that like, all right, let's go. We're getting hyped, and we're building up, and then, you know, this is the rising action, right? Let's see here. Cade says, dude, literally the reason I'm working to be less ahead lately. Oh yeah, I feel that. But honestly, like I think in the current state of my life, I would rather be a little bit ahead and sacrifice forgetting a thing or two, because then it's always cool to go back and remember things. It's like, you know, it's fun. Easy to forget where you're at when you've had to grow and move on from, for sure. Either way, this moment still works perfectly in the story. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's fun. I just, kind of did forget, but it's cool because I get to go back and re-experience this. Because that's the thing, too. It's so hard. And this is why I love rewatching my old videos, is because, and Katie, you'd appreciate this, it's really hard when you're making a video to experience that video. It's hard to experience a video of your own for the first time. And you can never really do it because you've experienced your video like in the growing and the building process. But say if I wait a year and go back and watch a video from a year ago, I can relearn that, like I can re-experience that video once it's been a certain amount of time. So like even, I could go back and watch a video now and it would be like it was brand new to me because it was so old. Obviously, it's a different experience because the video of old is not as good to my standard as my current ones are, so it's like a little bit different. But either way, it's fun to rewatch your old stuff because then you're kind of not experiencing it for the first time, but you're experiencing it differently than you did whenever you made it, which is cool. Oh yeah, I want to be 1 ahead, but right now I'm 5 ahead. Ooh. I mean, it depends. It depends on what you're doing because, that can be, it just all depends on how you look at it because it could be a good thing and a bad thing. Dude, I'm feeling that. Totally something to reflect on. Heck yeah.
I'm gonna try and prioritize like what am I not using for this video, and whatever that stuff is getting packed up.
Something too with this song in particular, I wanted to get something that was like upbeat and sort of hype, but also had that slight something about it feels a little bit like, oh, this is hype, but somewhat sad in the back end. Like I wanted it to kind of feel like a sort of like a sad song sung in a happy way, if that makes sense. I think actually, let me look it up because I'm almost positive this song, I'm looking for like the genre or like the feel or whatever it's called. What's that one called? Okay, so this is, the genre is rockabilly, 1950s, funny and happy. But it's something about it just feels kind of like you're having this happy time right before, and maybe it's because it's in the context of this video, but it feels like you have a happy time in the right before a sad time. So like, and see here too, in the bottom of the timeline we have, this is the full song. And then I cut to the instrument stem, which sounds quite different.
My dad and I built our desks.
It sounds a little bit more sad because you have all the heavy hitting elements taken out of it, and you just have the. So it feels a little bit different. It feels nostalgic. I agree, Johnny. I agree. And of course, that's the way that it's meant to feel in this video. So it could be different depending on the context of how you actually use the song.
Is getting packed up.
And of course, too, you see everything getting packed away that used to be all scattered about everywhere, and that translates to that nostalgic feeling as well. Brent says, your music choices are always fire. My main. Thank you, sir. Clap Your Hands by Young Rising Suns. A sad-ish song sung happy. All right, let's write that down. Thank you, Brent. Thank you. Kate, I'll check that out. Sad-ish song sung happy. Those are always interesting because you don't know how to feel when you're listening to it. Dude, indie music, I'm down. Indie pop, indie rock, whatever. I'm always down with it.
Dear Studio.
And here's what I was talking about earlier, where you have I guess this is kind of a different situation, but there's like the wider shot, and then there's the more tight shot.
I'm moving in with my
more narrow.
fiance, Maddie.
Give you that specific, what I'm writing. I love this little sequence here with Maddie.
Moving in with my fiance, Maddie. You remember her.
Fun fact, this shot here was never used in a real video. This section was completely omitted from the video that I had used, that I recorded this for. Love the country twang in it. Yeah, it's got that. It's the genre of it's rockabilly, so it's like kind of got that 50s kind of oldies kind of guitar vibe. You know, I really like it too. So yeah, there's a video on my channel called A Chill Sony ZV-1 Vlog or something like that. Where is it here? Yes, it was this one. A Chill Sony ZV-1 Vlog. It was 8 months ago. Chill day. It was a chill day video. And that sequence was shot for that video, but we ended up omitting it because I think I forgot to import the GoPro footage. That's honestly, I think that's what it was. Is I didn't use that whole narrative because I forgot about the GoPro. Or no, I just didn't use it. Minions guys, back here for another 5 minutes or so. Hey man, you got to recover from the roller coaster before you get back on, you know. I respect it.
You remember her. She and I made several videos in your space. We're going to be getting married next year, and that's part of the reason that I'm moving. Another reason is that she and I have been long distance since college. It's safe to say that we're both ready for that to be over.
And I was very particular too in which clips I was using. I wanted to use a certain each video clip. I wanted it to give a certain, like, this is the part of the video that we're kind of feeling upbeat, we're kind of feeling hype about, right? And so we're going to do a lot of laughing, a lot of smiling, a lot of laughing, a lot of smiling, a lot of laughing, a lot of smiling, like all of this, and we get to
since college. It's safe to say,
and then when the beat kind of goes and kind of gets lower, that's when we get to the hugging and the walking and the, you know, back to the packing up, and the, this is also like the narration of this letter, this section of the video is, I guess it's meant to be in my head as I'm doing these things, as I'm packing up the office. Dear studio, you know, we're writing in the office. I'm thinking about these things. These are the visualization. This is the visualization of what I'm thinking. And then we're back to real life where I'm thinking, right? This is all the things that are going through my head, and you're seeing that on the screen. I think it's a really cool thing.
We're still trying to figure out exactly how my desk is going to go, but I'm sure we'll figure something out.
I'm really glad I kept all those boxes. I kind of forgot I had all those. Let's see here. Can you shout out my friend Dora? She was screaming on the ride. Shout out to Dora for hopefully having fun and not being terrified on that roller coaster. That'd be cool. Hopefully you guys are having a good time out there.
Until next time, Garrett.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm gonna. This is one of those. I think there's basically one of these in every video where there's just a couple of frames that are so satisfying to me. Like the way this music faded back in right on the time, and it was like the timing of how I said it and everything. It just tickles my brain. Like, so this is the closing of this letter.
Until next time, Garrett.
Come on. That's so good. Oh, I just love that, dude. Oh my gosh. And then we have the writing the stuff on the. This is such a satisfying shot to me, dude. That really just. I don't know about you guys, but watching this back, it really hit home. I was like, man, this is the like once you start writing stuff and labeling the boxes, that's when you know it's like getting real up in here. That was just this. Oh, this whole. I'm gonna watch it again. Screw it. I don't care what you guys say. I'm watching it again.
Until next time, Garrett. Dear studio.
And see here, I had to do a little fidgeting to get the audio to act right. And actually, okay, so there's the voice, what's this called? Track. There's the voice track, and then there's the music track, which I don't know if those act differently, but I always use voice for music just because the music track you can't cut by just dragging the thing. You have, like, it remixes it. And I don't want to do that. So I just be using it on the voice track and then just like cutting it with my little clipping tool instead. And so with that in mind, I wanted to just fade into this instrument stem. And so I cut, and then I put this up here, and I did that, so it faded in a little bit better. So, yeah. But this is when it kind of shifts. The feel of this starts to kind of shift with this song. Like the same song we're using, but it still kind of shifts.
Dear Studio, do you remember when I first got set up in your space?
See, it's the same song, but it's amazing how you just take out, the melody and the bass and the drums, and then it all of a sudden just changes everything about the song. And then it shifts the mood entirely. So, like, now we're going to...
Dear Studio, do you remember when...
And it's about remembering, so we're going back to that nostalgic. We went from hype and, like, looking forward and stuff like that, and now we're back to the reflection and the looking back on good times.
I first got set up in your space. I had that folding table as my desk, a folding chair to sit in, and my laptop and monitor.
Look at this, dude. This is the 24 hours in the box video, man. This is old classic.
That's about it. Later on after that, my dad and I built our desks.
I didn't have any desk building footage because we didn't shoot it, so I just drew that on my thing. And as you can see, I drew it wrong at first, so I had to scribble it out a little bit. Yeah.
We made them purpose fit for our own.
Oh, and I had to make it look old and retro, so I used my very first cell phone to shoot this. That's why it's cropped weird.
Respective offices.
And apparently, it doesn't. It records audio, but it doesn't for some reason. Maybe the file is wrong, but yeah, it doesn't put the audio in the actual timeline, which is weird. I think it can. It just doesn't for some reason, or it didn't in this case.
So it's made perfectly for your space. We can't forget the time that Dad and I built the wall and put up a door to close you off and make you feel a little more complete.
Look at that. Come on.
I bet this made you feel a lot less like just a closet. I know, for me, it felt really good having my own little private space solely dedicated to being creative. I think that this is when our relationship really started to take shape. With gratitude, Garrett. Dear Studio, as I'm in the process of packing everything up from within your wall.
So this was a section that was kind of weird in the edit. Like, I was trying to figure out how to get from this song to this song without it completely sounding awful. And so what I ended up doing was trying to fiddle and enhance the other sound design. So as you can see here, this song starts to fade out. And so what I do to sort of segue between this song and that song is, if you notice, I keep the loud crinkles in there. Keep that noise,
Dear Studio,
sound.
as I'm in the process of packing everything up from within your walls.
So like I've left, instead of making it more montagey like it has been, I used the sound through these clips to, further give you that context of what's going on screen, and hopefully to distract from the music changing. And really, it just, if anything, it's just, I feel like it's sort of a in-between buffer, right? If that makes sense.
Dear Studio, as I'm in the process of packing everything up from within your walls, I'm flooded with memories. This was my first decoration in the studio, the Three Stooges poster. I remember getting this at a thrift store in a vlog with my sister Chloe.
Bang.
This poster
that was an absolute A1 vlog.
And frame cost me $20, but it was worth every penny.
Every penny, dude. It's so worth it. Oh, man, we were both, like, it was funny because in this video, Chloe was like, dude, if you don't get it, I'm getting it. Like, one of us has to acquire that poster. So I got it, and it's right here. Ah, good times.
Then, of course, there's the gaming chair.
And this, okay, so this song is called Be the Cat. But I love the guitar. And there's this, so this is the instrumental version. So it doesn't have the lyrics, but still in like the instrument, I guess this is sometimes how they do it on Epidemic Sound, where like part of the instrumentals is like background vocals, I guess. So there's a little bit of vocal in here, but it kind of works. Like I'm really fond of it actually. But I had to crank this volume up super high because it's only instrumentals. it's really, really quiet. And sometimes whenever you get a song from Epidemic, it's, unless it's like the original version, it's kind of quiet. I don't know if that's on purpose or whatever, but it's just, sometimes it's different and it's weird, so it's just gotta fix a little bit in the edit. But it ain't no biggie.
Had this chair for almost as long as I've been in this space.
Look at the Slim Jims, bro. I've been eating meat sticks at this desk since day one, bro. Almost literally. That was like I think I had bought that pack of Powerade and that pack of Slim Jims to have as like office desk snacks. So I'm almost positive that was like, that was the thing. I was curious about the vocals. Yeah, it was just kind of a thing that was featured in the song, but I think it worked. Like I think it felt kind of, I think it did its job. I felt like anyway.
I can't pack it up yet because
this was a funny little gag. I'm gonna go back. This is a funny gag I decided to do. I had this idea for like a week before I made this video. This is one of those random things. Like I'll have some idea just for a little shot that I want to get, and I know I'm not able to execute on it right away until like something like this. So I've this idea for this little section right here is, super good. You mentioned a few of your food rituals in this video, like pizza. Oh yes, dude, the pizza. But the Slim Jims was actually something I kind of had forgotten about until I got on that train of thought recently. But dude, a lot of the good times having snacks at this desk.
Been in this space. I can't pack it up yet because it's kind of big and I still need it. Regardless,
I don't think anyone actually made a comment about this, which was surprising, because that was one of these. This is one of those where I was trying to get it to where it was funny, to where people commented on it. And maybe it wasn't that funny. Maybe it didn't land. Who knows? But I thought it was a hoot, so that's all that matters.
I can't pack it up yet because...
But see, this was a shot. This was 100% deliberate because I wanted it to look like this box was bigger. And so shooting it from the ground, you kind of enhance the, perspective. It's how it works. It looks... If you shoot lower than the thing looks bigger because it looks like it's really tall.
It's kind of big and I still need it. Regardless, I remember getting this chair and setting it up before there was even...
And see, this is kind of a cute little shot, too, because it looks like I'm talking to it.
Getting this chair.
And it looks like, we're getting to know each other, me and the chair. Which, in, metaphorically speaking, we are.
And setting it up before there was even a wall. Before there was even a curtain.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and we can't forget the overhead shooting rig. This is easily my favorite thing I built in your space.
The overhead shooting rig.
I would bet money that it is in the top 5 most used studio items.
Okay, it says, I actually thought it was funny, just that the nostalgia overshadowed the vibe. No, it definitely did. And I think, honestly, yeah, I agree. Outshined. No, I agree.
I can't pack it up.
And if anything, this is one of those things where it's supposed to be like a comedic relief. So, like, you can't just be sitting here all sad and stuff for too long. So we gotta, like, and, give you a little chuckle on the side.
Don't need it. Regardless, I remember getting this chair and setting it up before there was even a wall. Before there was even a curtain. Oh, and we can't forget the overhead shooting rig.
Overhead shooting rig.
This is easily my favorite thing I built in your space. I would bet money that it is in the top 5 most used studio items. Warm regards, Garrett. Did I use that one already?
If you had cut the music at the moment of the box, like right
big
here,
and I still need it. Regardless.
Yeah, I would have had to space these out. The dialogue, I would have had to space it out too. But I like what you're saying, because that would have definitely drawn attention to the joke, for sure. But I don't know, I kind of like it the way it is. The way it ended up being. I've been emphasizing the joke. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And maybe subconsciously, because a lot of the edit happens subconsciously. So I think that might have been sort of we don't want to take away from the nostalgic feeling. Potentially.
Dear Studio.
I think I missed that.
I would bet money that it is in the top 5 most used studio items. Warm regards, Garrett.
Did I use that one already? I was doing the narration, and I didn't write that in the script of what I was reading, but I said it and I was like, and I just had to verbalize it because I was like, in a split second I thought that would be funny to keep in the video, so I was like, did I use that one already? Because I thought I did, and I actually ended up I was watching it back in the edit, and I did use that closing already, so it ended up being funny.
Dear Studio, When I look back at all the videos we made together, I have to go pretty far back to find a beginning. I wonder how many videos I made in your space. Let's see.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So when I was shooting overhead, see, here's the overhead rig. I was shooting overhead, and I was using my phone as a key light because I had all my other lights packed up. And I didn't realize it was in the shot. And you can see, like, you know, I was shooting a lot of this B-roll post in the edit, so I was kind of like going through and rewatching as I needed it. So yeah, this is one of those little Easter eggs. You can tell I was in the process of shooting as I was shooting this. And you guys says, I'll see you in a bit. Another ride. Have a blast, man.
There's just so many I can't even count. It's crazy to me how much the videos have improved from the time I first moved into your space to now.
Hey.
I like to think that you had something to do with that. Being in my own creative space, being...
Ooh! Anyway, I forgot about that. That's one of those good ones. This is one. This was done on purpose. But it's so small and so subliminal. I don't know if anyone noticed it.
Something to do with that.
Right on beat.
Being in my own creative space, being able to completely...
Light clicked off right on the beat. Look at that. Gorgeous. Ooh. Oh, dude, come on. Get out of here. Get out of here. So good.
Being
Love
in
it.
my own creative space,
Love it.
being able to completely indulge in the creative process has led to a lot of improvement. So, thank you for that. With appreciation, Garrett. Dear Studio, I've spent the last couple of hours pulling stuff out and putting it in boxes to be ready to move. The time has come now for some lunch.
Oh, yeah. See, that, I liked that, how I cut the music off, because it's just completely two different songs, and they're immediately right back to back. But the door slammed,
For some lunch.
cut the audio, fade into the next song, bang. See, that was a nice, I did that, I think I executed that one better than the previous jump between songs, the transition. I like this shot a lot for some reason. It's cool. I like POV, you're the pizza box.
It wouldn't be a last lunch in the studio if it wasn't pizza.
Oh, yeah.
I can't help but feel nostalgic and a little bit sad. Looking back...
Also, I really like this shot because the pizza box is just barely in focus, and I'm behind it, and you can see it's cool. It's a cool one. I like it.
Back and remembering all the pizzas we've shared.
Which, okay, this was frustrating because I could only find one video where I had pizza. I had done it like 100 times, but there was only one video I could find. So my thought is maybe I just didn't shoot any of the other times I had pizza, but it happened a lot. Trust.
I will always cherish the times together where I've sat in your space and watched YouTube while eating a pizza. Good times. With full belly, Garrett.
Oh yeah. So here we go. Ooh, yawn time, baby.
With
This
full
is where
belly,
Fade
Garrett.
out, fade in. Old classic.
Dear
Last
Studio.
montages, the old tearjerker.
I still have a few things left to pack up.
Also, I really like that shot.
A
That's nice. I liked it a lot.
few things left to pack up. But that is going to have to wait until this video is finished. I still can't believe that we only have a few days left to get to work
Song,
together.
too.
Like I said,
Also, that shot, I really liked that shot as well. I was wiping down the green screen. It was super dusty. So satisfying. I wanted to save it because it's obviously a much longer clip, but I cut it down to where it was just this, bang, where it came right at you. I just thought that kind of felt really cool.
work together. Like I said, by the time you read this letter and subsequent letters, I will already be gone.
Man, the milestones on the thing, man, that's so good. Oh.
I am definitely feeling more sad about leaving now than I did earlier. But that's okay. It's okay to be sad sometimes. If anything, that means that you, my studio, had a profound impact on me as a creator, as an artist, and as a person. Never forget that it's okay to be sad. Sure, I may be leaving home, going to a new place, but when there is sadness for leaving, there's also happiness and excitement for what's next.
Oh, man.
And what's next is a whole new adventure. One full of firsts, one full of learning, and one full of love. And if there's anything for certain, it's that no matter where I go, there will always be love.
Brad, what's up, man?
And with love, there's never really goodbye.
And so here we go. This, I don't know if a lot of people noticed, but we got the underneath the writing. I'm in the writing. I'm writing the last of the letter, and I'm starting to break, And then this is the hug of my with my parents.
Bye. It's just see you later.
And so one of the
Love.
big things,
Garrett.
and then we get the closed book on beat. Oh yeah. So one of the big things. Also, thank you, patrons. Thank you, patrons. One of the big things that the narrative, like one of the big parts of the narrative that sort of wrote itself as I went on through in making this video, part of the story that wrote itself was the metaphor that my studio represents home to me in this video when you get through it and when you kind of really think about it. And just if it's, I think it was not something that I did intentionally at first, but going through and making the video and having written it and all that, when I get to the end of the video and I talk about all these things, like how it all ties together, it ends up being to where it's so much bigger than just the room that I'm feeling nostalgic for or missing or whatever. Like there's so much more to it, which is such a beautiful thing, and I think it's one of the best things about this video. And I think that this is one of the reasons why I think this is my best video ever, because there is so much depth to it. And like I said, it starts off relatively lighthearted, but also like you can kind of feel that it's going to be some nostalgia and some stuff of that nature. But, in really dissecting the video and really consuming it and like really paying close attention to it, you figure that, you kind of get the feel of that the studio represents more than just face value. Dude, that's awesome. Very poetic journey stuff. Home is where the heart is. This means so much. Yeah, dude. And it's like, it's one of the beautiful things about moving on and doing new things is like you get to look back and you get to really, that's where art comes from, is from having experiences and being in one place forever. You don't have as many opportunities for a lot of experiences, and obviously that is pretty general, but at least in my experience, being in one place, there's not, the experiences aren't always there, unless you just dig deep. But active, engaged viewing versus passive consumption. Yeah, like this is one of those. Definitely, if you're active and you're engaged in viewing this particular video, it's really like anyone can relate to it. Anyone that's ever like it. The studio, to me, this is why I think it's art. To me, the studio represents one thing. But to somebody else watching, the studio could represent something else entirely. It could represent, who knows, like it could literally be anything. And that's the beautiful thing about art as a whole and in general, is that whoever consumes it can interpret it in their own way. They interpret it however they deem to be relevant, like however they want to. And so, like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Where you can be. It's pretty much whatever you make it. Whatever the art is that you're consuming is whatever you make it. It means to you differently than it does to somebody else, which is something that's really cool. And one of the best things about this video, one of the things I love about this video the most, is that it means a lot to me, and yet it can mean something entirely different, while also still meaning a lot to somebody else. But seeing what it means to you is also inspiring to our interpretation of this art. It's very cool. That's true. That's very true. That's a good point. Is it, because it means something to me. And I think that's what helps drive home the feeling, is that the fact that, anyone viewing it can really feel that I'm feeling something in this video. That, because that kind of contributes to that human connection that everyone always talks about on YouTube, where, you get that, especially more nowadays, but back in the day when YouTube was more about the individual, a lot of their videos were about their experiences, and you could feel that experience through that person's interpretation of that experience. So then, by having consumed that video, you feel something and you can interpret it in your own way based on however that person experienced, and then based on how you have an experience, where you can relate it to your own personal life, and also where you can appreciate the video for what it is. So yeah, super cool stuff. I really love this video. This is one of my favorite videos I've ever made. Like I said before, it'll be one of my favorites for a long time, I think. Like, obviously, I try to make each video like sort of my favorite in one way or another, but this feels like it's overall my top for a while. I think it's one of my number ones for a second, because it's just something about it, dude. Like, it's not just something about it. It's like, it's extremely personal, and I think it's done. I think one thing I was successful in too with this is it was extremely personal, while also remaining extremely tasteful and not, super like gooey or super oversharey or anything like that. I think. Like, I feel like that was successfully executed upon. Whereas I'm driving home the feeling, trying to submit that feeling to others, while also keeping it keeping it relatively general, right? So I think that's pretty cool. I think I was successful in that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a really, really fun one to make. I had a really good time, and I felt really artistic making it, and I felt really good about making it. And it was one of those videos I had to show. I was so excited for it to come out. So I'm glad it's finally here, finally out for everyone to see. And I'm sorry I'm a couple days late on the commentary, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. Oh, we got a little love sent in the chat. Thanks for all the love, gang. Oh, it's April. It's April. You know what we're going to do, gang? Oh, I can't believe I just remembered this. This is awesome. Okay. Pop out chat. Guess what we're going to do? New month equals 10 free memberships. Everyone who is going to receive is going to have access to epic. Happy April, dude. Hey, thanks, man. Hopefully. Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? YouTube, this is great that you do this, but I would love it if you could just send it to the people that are in the chat. Like, bro, hopefully Cartoon Commotion can get his membership gift. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, wait, you know what? You got to have memberships turned on, so you might not even allow it on your end. Wow. Well, hey, it's all good. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm not buying it with my own money. Because it's a lot of money. Restore chat. But hey, congratulations to the 10 people that are subscribed. We left that no biggie. I'm still a fan regardless. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that, or didn't even know about that until that feature came out, to where people, like, you have to manually allow channel memberships to happen. So, like, you can't just... Like, I can't just gift a membership to anybody. Like, they have to agree to the terms and stuff on their own account before they can even buy their own, which is a thing. So, like, if anyone has bought a channel membership for somebody else, then they're automatically allowed it because they have to do the thing. So, anyway, that's pretty cool. But yeah, definitely appreciate that. Gotta give me a last sip of water before we skedaddle on here. I forgot it was a new month, so I had to hop on and do the memberships real quick. Because I like to do it. I like to keep everybody, have the memberships circulating, because that's always a fun time. Everybody likes the emojis and stuff. And I think I mentioned it in the Just Garrett video this morning, where, I want to do the Patreon, where they have that exclusive content. And the channel membership is one of those things, like, it is cool if somebody wants to join, and if not, don't have to. But I still want them to have that exclusivity, so what works out for that is, the emojis. So that's cool. But anyway, yep, the new memberships have exclusive access to emojis and stuff, and their name gets highlighted and they get the badge and all that. So that's cool. So if that means something to somebody, then they can do that if they want. But anywho, that's gonna do it for me, gang. Got all the memberships out. Everybody's chilling. videos over. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this one. This was a really big video for me, really important video. And next week's video is also important and big as well. I'm really excited for that one to drop because I think I described this in the Just Garrett video. So it's the start of the next season, right? I have a setup to where like each, I have vlog season 4, the vlog season 3, 2, 1. So each sort of, I had it to where I would do like 100 episodes or whatever. But my point is, next week season 5 begins, and it's super cool. Super excited for it. So stick around, stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit. Take a breath, man. Sometimes I'll be forgetting to breathe, All right. Anywho, thanks again, guys, for being here. Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys Sunday night, 6:30 Central Time. Be there.